here at home, the TSA says roughly 40 million people, you might be out there, will be traveling by air this holiday season. But could recent reports of the mysterious drones near airports and military bases, why not, would that impact flights? I think so. People in at least 11 states now have reported sightings. Joining us now to discuss is a Fox News contributor, drone expert, and former Army Special Operations soldier, Brett Velokovich. I hope I've done that right, Brett. Thank you. But Brett's so much easier. But, this perspective, I have to tell you, I just want your thought on this, that I think it's pretty clear. On one hand, the government, Biden's administration, is telling us this is no big deal. This is, people have drones. It's bad news. It's early Christmas presents. Clearly, this seems to be something more serious that is being, we have to presume, hidden from us because we're not getting answers. What is your approach on this?
Well, Tammy, my take is our government isn't taking it serious. And my concern is they're going to wait until somebody dies before we do anything and protect Americans. That's the danger here. And, the U.S. government right now, I'm finding out over the last couple of weeks dealing with these drone incursions is they don't have a clear government-wide policy for how to deal with detecting and mitigating drone threats. And this is a major national security threat. All the agencies seem to be pointing fingers that it's somebody else's responsibility. Mm-hmm. But I know where the bottleneck is. It's the FBI's drone department and the FAA. They're responsible for coordinating this. And unfortunately, they're not doing a good job.
All right. Jason.
Brett, Jason Chaffetz here. So the question is, what are these drones doing? Because there could be armed at some point. There could be a drone swarm at some point. I don't think our government is prepared to deal with any of those. But what are they doing if they're hovering there? What are they looking for? What data can they gather? How intelligent what intelligence can they gather by hovering over, say, New Jersey or New York?
Well, here's the thing, Jason. I think a lot of people assume drones are just about fancy, high-powered cameras, and that's just not the case. I dealt with this technology for quite some time, and all it takes is an adversary to fly a drone over a sensitive site for a few minutes, and the damage is done because you can put sensors on those drones that collect cell phone data. They can pick up all the cell phones. If I wanted to figure out information and read your text messages, I could just fly a drone over your house with a special sensor on it that could collect that data, which could go back to different intelligence agencies. You can put sensors that collect IP addresses from computers. You can listen into people's conversations. Basically anything light enough to fit on a drone, you can do, and that's why our adversaries are using this against us right now.
There were two men just very recently in Boston. One was in court with Iranian ties. They were charged related to components ultimately reaching a drone that was used to kill 3 American soldiers in Jordan earlier this year. So drones can be deadly. They're used in wars. Is that something where you wouldn't want the American public to just get used to seeing drones over military bases and airports and sensitive sites?
We need to start paying attention to it a lot more because of what's happening overseas with current wars. For instance, in the Ukraine-Russian war, almost 70-80% of the strikes that take place on the front lines are with small handheld FPV drones that you can attach a grenade to and wreak havoc with. Wow. And this is larger than just some unauthorized drones flying around our territory. This is becoming a problem that affects potentially our economy if you're not careful. You have these airports with thousands of holiday travelers, which have to be shut down if they determine that there's a potential threat with a drone flying around. Drone activity have disrupted flights in the past. They've caused airliners millions and millions of dollars. And all it takes is one sighting of a drone over top of an airport, and that traffic has to be shut down.
Especially with what we got coming up. David.
Brad, hey, good to see you again. Transponders are required by the FAA for commercial drones, similarly to an airplane transmitting an ID. There's none of that being talked about here between FAA and FBI. What does that tell you?
It doesn't matter if transponders are required because only the big companies are doing that. What about the rogue operators who's out there building these things in their garage? They don't put a transponder on it, and there's zero the FAA can do about it. Zero. And that's the biggest issue. We've got to reset our entire national security infrastructure to deal with these modern threats.
Yeah, excellent point. I mean, this is. And then without information, we then tend to fill in imaginings and conspiracy theories. But we don't need a conspiracy theory here. We've got a lot on our hands. Thank you, Brett, for joining us tonight. I appreciate it. Great job.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.